It's time for Dads Without Dads, a platform created for men who are determined to become the dads we never had. My guest today is one of the most prolific rappers we have in Zambia. He's also one of the toughest ons I know. So he's a songwriter, he's a rapper, he's a music creator, music extraordinaire. He does a lot of good things that he will be able to tell you about if you're lucky today, but we are more interested in learning more about how he grew up and how he became a dad without a dad. But allow me to introduce Mr. Ephraim Kasonde. I hope I said it correctly. Also known as Banuna Chungu DIZMO.
Very.
Laka?
Laka. Mr.
Sani
President
mtaka
Laka.
machebwino.
Mwala bako chimozi, mwala bako kambati hustler foot.
Yeah, kairi.
DIZMO the hustler.
Hustler. Tenze tai bisa mujamuri toughest ons.
Oh.
Kairi ma tough ons bali mu hustle.
Yeah. Last level.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you, man.
Thanks. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, you're doing amazing things with your career, but what really stands out for me is also like how you use your social media. There are certain things that you're showing us. Mutlangizako ati it's important to be a present father.
Yes.
Mu life ya mwana. Apa mwana na zina tinamuziba.
Yeah.
Kuona chepa social media mdala wako na mwana wao. Tamuziba na zina Paris. Yeah.
Last pa. Last pa.
Yeah. Nice one. Are you able to remember how it felt the first time you heard that you were going to become a father?
Yes. Yes, I do. I felt it was like for me, it was just a normal feeling, because it wasn't like the first time I experienced that, I was amazed, and I feel like this time around, it just has to happen.
Okay.
Some time back, I saw a feeding, if you're feeling food some years back, but God has his own plans. But this time around, you're feeding fear. I'm fully confident that I'm going to be a dad, like for real, this time around.
So when you say you've had this feeling before, like saying the first time,
yes.
Yeah, first initiative.
My firstborn couldn't make it some years back. I actually did that. I had to put that whole story in a song,
Okay.
And so
bampira futi second chance.
This time around, I'm a proud dad.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. So for you to become the proud dad that you have become now, it means that first of all, we need to understand how this proud dad came to be. Like, let's learn about your childhood first. Where did you grow up? How did you grow up? And how was your relationship with your dad?
I grew up from Mrs. Compound. And, it's a ghetto.
Ghetto child,
yeah. It's a ghetto. So I grew up without a dad. I grew up with my stepdad, actually. My dad passed away when I was in grade 2.
Oh.
But mom was there for me, throughout this time, and I know how it feels like growing up without a dad, because you won't have support, emotional support, financial support. Not only that, na backup for there's some certain things that you can't do because you know where you're coming from to say, I'm an orphan, so I can't cross this line, I can't do this, such, Most importantly, I had to stay away from substance abuse. Because, when you don't have that person who is like highly protecting you as a child, kola wafia tuwasav kafia wat punsha kwatana wa dad
Aha.
you know. But for me, my goal was to, you know, first finish academics and then pursue whatever I wanted to do in life, which is music.
That's what's up. Do you have any memories? I know you were really young in grade two eating maybe you're even like
8 years.
below the age of 10. So
Should be
8, ka?
8.
Yeah, because usually you start school at 7 or 6,
Yes.
7, then 8, you're in grade 2. Do you have any memories, anything you can remember about Babali?
Yes, I have two actually. You know, there was a time when he went to buy for me a bicycle in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was young, you know, I felt so exhausted, you know, because we had to walk from Mrs. Compound to town. And then he bought for me a bicycle. We even sat at a certain restaurant, we had lunch, you know, ka chicken and ka sausage and chips ka at time. Tuaria feriaini and whatnot. You know, there are a lot of memories, so to say.
Wow.
There was this time, you know, I like growing up, I used to get sick so many times and whatnot. So there was this time I had malaria, and my dad was actually a doctor in the army.
Oh. Okay.
So there was a time I had malaria, and then kwali bakosi ati bakula samanyene and whatnot, kosi ja malaria.
Yes.
So
the next day.
baba manyene tiaja so so itanatsan Christopin. Yeah, woman.
Okay, the ones I can remember for malaria are quinine, fancy da.
Injection.
Oh, yeah, my injections. Okay, okay. No, the ones I was oral, the oral ones I can remember. Yeah,
Krista something nyereti
okay. Yamunyeleti vesini kumbuka mazina. Maybe ni amen.
Yes, so
ati enzo baba maningi.
Yenzo baba chivimba. So yeah, those that time, you know, like kwa sheria bilama injections, and then he was looking for me the whole time. You know, then naliku grounding. And then he came, and then I started running, you know. I started running, because
it was time to
eventually I got sick that whole time, and I had to go back home. And then he treated me, you know, rest in peace, my dad. He was a true soldier. Wow. And then the another memory of me and my dad was when he bought for me a school shoe.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you know, somebody came and said we were playing football ground, and then somebody came and said you know what I mean, like yeah, and then like to give us, you know, so that we can just that thing. And then we started walking. He told us to say, let's go, I'll give you, I have at home. And then we went and then uri guys yaisa sangwati my friend Bright, you know, they were related, you know what I mean. So quite if and then we went for like 40 minutes. We were just walking, and then after twafika kwati pakona, so umukamba isa chinja statement that paligaro hapa, so imaluma ukavana nsapato za black, so pase nifake plastic ya rambwe, then konkanyepo kuenda ndi mwena vulira nsapato ene kwa kishinavula nampasa mkamba faka plastic za nsapato taenda koche pangono nangu ati 2 minutes atuza ati okay nabwera pia panza kupezana F1 biro mkamba nangu 3 hours tari bwera yero ya nyosho yero na bondi bakamba daddy nsapato chiri kwisa baisa mpono na bafyashi. So those are just some of the memories, you know, as a kid.
That's a very good memory. I like it.
Like me, I'm the last born, so the time I was like a child, my dad was already old, mwesh. So quite fair kwa bad kota feno kota tete pasangwe na ewe balicha draft and whatnot, but we are good buddies, mwesh.
Okay.
Sometimes ngabam kuchana ngwati draft pa market ili aine na abakonka and whatnot. Even the day he died, you know, it was a sudden death. And would you believe if I tell you that the day my dad died, nishine quite fair na time ago at I was young to a point that I used to sleep on the same bed. Nabena, naba fiash para pene, mom, so it was really traumatizing for me, growing
because you
up like
got
that.
used to being
Mweshpa.
next to each other.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah. When you were talking about what happened to you, about you buy Bali buys you the butter shoes, and then this guy mukulu you are using anzeru zawakulu zona, and then he gets what your father bought for you. Hey, that's crazy. It reminds me of one of the father figures in my life.
Yes.
Was the late Uncle Teddy, who was my late mother's brother. So for a long time nali wishing ati nga kuli kwabe nga mpangirako motoka y'amawaya nshakwetuka bakumpangirako nshindifyaka ichefye nshakipanga nemwine. So when my uncle was visiting us that day, I was so excited to tell him to say ndefo amumpangireko motoka y'amawaya. So he got the wires, tunkaki. Bapanga bampangire ikali motoka zona. Then I went somewhere fira ndensha motoka line mu Mka Road so kukabwe kulya. Ko twaleta kule Louis Kureways.
Kunyanji.
So tulensha ka motoka. Ero pasa sa film mukulu muno kusanje bati ati iwe mwaichewe nawo kamuna kasote mfwere aka. Kakali akasote aka kali dulaka. So ndefo ayo naine tuchinjanye iyi motoka y'amawaya. Now, he was one of those, but my bullies. My bullies. So if you want to na command, so when they kupera kasotiaka, iwe walampera motoke, asenda senda motoka. So nomba na Africa bondi, mwanko zoko alirolera ko yalendolera. Then he sees me wearing what I didn't leave home wearing. And then he asks me ati motoka ilikuisa.
But
it was one of those moments where I felt safe to speak against a bully, because bullies, the way they were when we were young is they would feed your mind with certain words that will make you not to tell Wabakuru. So but for some reason my uncle had to tell him. I just said, Uncle Teddy, akwali bauli omukulu wikala palya nampoka amperera mu akasote ako. And then my uncle was like, no, let's go and get. So he went, warned him, and got the nakasote basendera komo nakwata na firiri bati, should you ever try to do anything funny to my nephew, you have to face me. And that guy never ever bullied me again.
They were expensive. You can't have one.
Exactly. You couldn't afford it. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's good to learn this part of your life, because I have followed you at a distance, even just the way that you praise the women in your life.
Yes.
You did a song called Sister Watu.
Sister Watu, yes.
And in that song, even when you did a documentary before you released your album.
Yes.
So we watched that documentary, and even there we got to see like some of your sisters. You're talking about that song, Sister Watu. You appreciate different women, including just women in the industry, women who've supported you.
Very much.
And then again, I heard you on another song, a J Cash song, where you appear together with, is it Chilewano? Who is the singer?
Jessica Links.
Jessica Links, yes. On that song, you're talking about Ichini cha kwa mzimai. Yes. That song, again, that's another song where you credit women.
Yes, so much.
And I think that you share special relations with women in your life.
Very much.
Could that be because you've grown up around women and you've seen what they're capable of doing?
Yes, because I've spent most of my life with my sisters. Mom was old. She used to travel so much. And she's a businesswoman. So I grew up with my sisters, and I could see how much they would sacrifice for me to just have a meal and stuff, So, like, women, special woman, women are so special in our lives, Moesh, because there are some certain things that you can hustle, you can do some certain things, but quite often if you got umwana kasho afuningile for what? Echo tupira guy.
Yes, I like it. I like it. Let's take a short break. Welcome back to Dads Without Dads, and I'm speaking to DIZMO. Badadi, bamene bali be badadi.
Highest
zone. Yeah, so for the sake of those that are hearing about Paris for the first time, tell us about your relationship with your child.
Well, even today I was having difficulties to leave the house because he was all over me, Moesh. Like we're best friends like that, and I love it so much, Moesh, because I'm so attached to him to a point that at times I feel like job, but if I look at the things that I'm supposed to do, job,
Yeah.
I think this time around I spend much of my time. It's either I'm working or I'm home with my son, and my wife, just doing what a lovely family does,
Wow.
and so mupondo fenankwe muchera boy but he's growing up and he's seeing how much we love him as a family, not just me and my wife, even my his aunties, uncles, more especially his grandma,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks exactly like my immediate elder sister. So the love that they share, it's
Deep.
out of this world,
Wow. That's amazing. I can relate with what you're saying when you say sometimes you feel like kuya fenang kunchito shani. Actually, you remember the last time you and I linked up, I was with my daughter.
Yes.
Sometimes. Yeah, there are days like that where I just feel like, ndemsenda fe kujobu. So like that day we were meeting and we're discussing business, but I came with my daughter.
Yeah.
There are days when I also feel like, maybe today it's not possible because I'll be distracted or I'll need to first make sure that she's okay. Wow, kukside foot in there bomba, so it's tricky.
Yeah.
But I can relate. That's a very relatable feeling. And I think it's the same for many other dads out there.
A lot of parents.
Yeah. Akare abafyashita bari ilanga sana yo love, but they still loved us. But like, they wouldn't show it like that where fyamunika sana ati mwaliwa close. When maybe bare bomba, bare mishitako discipline, bare shitashani, but in all those things they were showing love. And then these days I think I don't know whether it's twalibako traumatized so turafwa ifu kwata sana ida close relation n'abana nokulalanda na bien. Because kunumo again, do you realize that sometimes parents never really used to speak to their kids about certain things, even certain topics.
Yes.
But these days it's changing bit by bit, and you're seeing more of, conversations between fathers and their kids. Akale abafyashinga bayisa abantu bale butuka.
Yeah, kutia.
Especially abafyasha baume.
And on that point, I feel like it's not okay for kids to kutina sana abafyash mwashba, because in most cases we kill their confidence.
Yeah.
Idia vibe yako batu mwana munganda de patrola, like it's just everywhere. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Even when it's outside there, you are by the mall, muliku place, mwana I'd feel free, you know what I mean? Not to mwana bakamba di pabantu adetina no kulanda. Why? Because you've threatened the child so much as a parent to a point that mwana, I'm a threat. Takwete confidence. It kills also na confidence for real life. But kaidi for us men, what drives us is confidence.
Yes.
Confidence is what pushes us to do greater things. So as a parent, if you are threatening umwana so much, no shan kumuma, what not vulgar language,
yeah,
you need to understand that is umwana achidade sambirira, you know what I mean? So kids can make mistakes. Just have a one-on-one conversation with them. Oh, like me with my son, we'll sit down, Like, oh, my guy, don't do that. And I'll change, And then maybe after 15 minutes, I'll crack a joke like, furious, and then you laugh. Few hours from there, you won't repeat that. You'll be like, you won't touch. If it's something that is breakable, just look at it and. So with that, I know how to, okay, women are so crazy and so on. And at this point, I know, I can raise a whole family of even 10 abantu.
Experience it.
I'm learning. It's a learning process,
Yeah. Powerful. I love that. So kwa bako iyo balanda ti children usually learn from what they see, what they observe, especially with their parents. So for example, ngabamona ti abamami na badadi baralwa nabena in their minds, it's not even like they are planning that nabene for bakaba. It's just what chila shala feel like it's what they call a norm. Because kwa baile baranda sociology ati you are a product of your environment.
Yes.
Environment yo wakuliramo ekupanga ekushapinga. So nga wakulire mwami sis then mwami sis mwali bama tough ons na wino ukaba tough on. You know how to survive. Because the people of Mississippi are survivors. That's how it goes. So even abana kulabati, if whatever they are seeing in their homes is what they are likely to accept. So it's the same. I'm raising a girl. You are raising a boy. So that girl that I'm raising, my child Malaika, she looks at me as the ideal man in society. So Isamkubati, in future, when she starts to make her life decisions or even relationship choices, she'll most likely look for a man based on what she knows about a man because of the model that she sees in front of her. So akaramonat, we didn't treat her, we know.
Yeah.
You never dad but didn't treat her so. We didn't treat her, we know. I didn't treat her, we know, because my dad didn't treat her, my mommy, we know.
Yeah.
So I think that my next question is going to be, why do you think it's important for parents to be leaders like that in their homes, so that one akopera or something? Why do you think it's important, even if you're raising a boy?
I feel like that's how we shape kids, Moish. Like for me, everything that my life experiences, at this point, are based on how I've grown up, and there are a lot of things that I avoid, more especially at my house, Moish. Because if you cook ni extended family, so fiance, you everything, violence, peace, what is it? Everything, you've seen them, and you've seen the negative effects of fiance or So in my house, what munganda mwandi me and my wife, I think we both understand principle yakobati kufuala mask pamwana mwashibaka. Takwa benganda abafati peace film yafi. Of course you have fights, differences and whatnot, but when it comes to abana kids, you need to wear a mask, Doesn't matter how you are feeling. Sometimes ila kaba pa street bagamba ta okwete nanguni 10 kwach. Now kwata fe na bad mood, but pa bond umwana kufuala mask,
Tafuida
aishi be fidi fionza nanguna amulaka. Kids senses bari but okay, mom is not feeling well. Okay, dad is, they know.
Bad mood.
And you can actually see their face changing. Kula fati umwana ngari ba excited.
Yeah.
If there's bad energy per bond, mood yala fellow, you see okay umwana it is so. So for me, I try by all means to not show my child some certain things, even if I'm upset, even if my wife is upset and whatnot, she knows how to keep her boundaries when it comes to a child. Okay, we talk, okay, this, it's not supposed to be like this, okay, this, we sort it out, and then we move on like that. because amana sometimes when there's too much violence panganda balaba unruly, you know what I mean. You get to a point where umwana na kwatana ngwa 5 years but alishwana my insults, you know, exchanging words with you, a parent, baninana ngobawish. That's coming from within mweshbaka. So for me, I try by all means to not pump in the energy at a young age, and also traumatize for a kamuvana because balabafe unruly na we mwine kutua dab what efona kushif.
Yeah.
So that's how I handle certain things.
Wow. That's deep, man. That's deep. We take another break, and when we come back, I ask DIZMO a set of other questions that I have prepared for him. Welcome back to Dads Without Dads. So, Banona Chongo.
Big.
Imwe muri mataf on sana imu. Na nimekonga mo fe mwali bako fe tafi ya ine feria. So nomba muri toughness yenu yo. Na imwe wene murapita ko fe mfimo as a guy mukatifie. There are certain things that sometimes will break you inside even if you may not show it to the world. I just want to know, how do you handle pain as a man?
Okay, I've come to understand that life ya guy a life of a man. Every day you wake up as a failure, you're failed. So you need to prove yourself and to the world the reason why you deserve a piece kuri cake mweshbaka. So if about me in most cases, pain yalibafi kwa tin compulsory, you know what I mean. So every day you go through certain things, but the most important thing is prayer first. When you pray, God will give you a direction to say, okay, so. For me, when like I'm going through some certain things, what I do, like the most therapeutic thing for me is music.
Nice.
And I create good music when I'm going through, like when I'm in pain.
Okay.
When I'm in pain, that's when I do great things.
Wow.
That's how God created me. But when certain things that are breaking me, not only financial wise, even if utuntu fe twakushika tuli bagayi fe twalikwata friends anamva kwata guys nashiteka so too much disappointments and whatnot, a lot of things much. But as a guy, if you kukwata fe endurance fe kuishita fe endure pain, waishita fe endure waishwana kuish, but tai lasting pain doesn't last.
It will go away.
It will go away. That's why ama seasons yard pisana kaeli. Kwa liba rain season, winter na summer. Even a plant kutife mele fe, when plant pakula, tamuba fe mfula eka na sunlight omoiwa. So pain will make you grow if you use it as a fuel to do something great. Pain is actually good for a human being. Like, I'm being honest. Pain is actually good because it will push you to do greater things. Because you want to prove to the world to say, no, this is what I deserve and this is what I want to do in life. Life without pain kaidi wala shitashani ifukuru kaidi idia yako bati no fe
Waba too comfortable.
Mwana mayad kaidi badi kushita fe spoke areas yako bati tawa mfapo ni nsara bakamba uisonga afu afe bakamba
nishiabi pa bakamba.
We're a product of pain.
Yes I. So for men that would like to get some help or to speak to fellow men about different things that we go through as men, I would advise you to visit the AIDS Healthcare Foundation's men's clinics, especially if you're in Lusaka. there's a men's wellness clinic called Lusungu, and it's found just behind Kolima Tower bus station. And then in Ndola, there's an area called New Masala, where you can also find another AHF men's wellness clinic, and you can discuss different issues to do with being a man. And in a very safe space, there's confidentiality and no judgment at all. And that's what's up. Do you remember the AIDS Healthcare Foundation?
Yes.
You remember them, huh?
Yes, I do.
What do you remember?
A performance first.
Yeah.
And then also there was something, written notes that I was given.
Oh, yeah.
That were given to say, kukonka kutuma guidelines and whatnot, safety.
Yeah.
Tuingife tuakushitika toka fe as a guy kuti twakupanga.
Nice one. Yeah, so the AIDS Healthcare Foundation are actually helping us out with this podcast.
Oh, nice.
My guys are very producer, a big man ex.
Yeah.
Bafugire baswamo. Shan. So HF, they came through for us to say, I know we will help you as you do your thing. So
Perfect.
I remember that World AIDS Day to say
Bad.
Pa Woodland Stadium, and I was
yeah.
happy to see you on such a stage as a rapper, preaching the message of being responsible.
Very
Our guy,
much.
let's be responsible. If you're going to engage in certain things,
But-
using a rubber or know your status,
Hey, Kai,
get your
voices.
treatment.
Bad.
Rap yo ine.
If we preaching apa street, so bagay nga twabe bafata muntu wandi. Kabiyoko kwaso okushira tulesa pano ole danda ola ole pempane ole rombane yafuaka. So beta wako oku.
Yeah.
You seek professional help, Maishwa. It's
Yes,
actually good. Big shout out.
That's what's up. Big shout out AIDS Healthcare Foundation. Thanks for coming through for us. And I'm happy to just be able to remember that moment when you went on stage and you did your thing and you were able to talk about, being responsible. And it's nice to see artists who sometimes are seemingly or just known like ni hip hop artist. So people might not know that Kanshi nakuma good causes arasangwa.
Right.
I've seen you do climate change. I've seen you
Yeah.
do HIV/AIDS and many other things that are coming kuntanshuku. So that's what's up.
Big time.
Just keep it up, Bagamba.
Thanks, Zona. Gade bwangu.
Vano na chongo in the building, zone. All right, so let's go back a bit to your childhood. Do you remember some of the games that you were playing in Mississippi?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? Can you tell us about some of them?
Kwaliko bonga. Bonga mwali umfu hapo.
Ayonsha.
Yapa kumboni. Bonga.
Tumwaishita explain yashan.
Nanjuga sana.
Bonga yashan. Yaba mkategori anjuga.
Awe, bonga rifia chibola. Tuma gero fie. Tuma line fia kushita fia kubutuka.
Okay.
Especially when it's rain season, eh?
Taipale kuna kuri pad. Na mwisho pad.
Pade. Te igo pade mwenena. Bonga imbifi. Bonga ya rilaka. But nariwa njuga sana food.
Okay.
But guys, if you're watching this podcast, stay away from bad influence. I'm not saying injuga shadi babueno. I'm just saying Jebede. Emma James Walecha as a ghetto child growing up,
Yes,
because that's how I see abantu fo bareko. Mwishibaga. Kwa ama games fia para kwa tati na bola sana.
Yeah.
So kai
Bola mware te yashan.
ya kumuru hii.
So ndilanda mware bomfia ya kushita
Na professional failure ine na dichap.
Okay.
But I was surprised ku stadium kuyazona 5 seconds nana.
Yeah.
But trust me. I was one of the best players, football players ulakobati na paudu fiari shibikwatu yakati afye kwa Arsenal, Bayern. Then tuambo kurapa.
Yeah.
Ya chinja na program.
Yeah.
Apateti. Tuni madaras apateti tuchaye.
Ni mo wash Paris.
Madaras.
So among the games that you played, like pari bonga, katushinga mwaliti yako na waida, oyari yaba gero waida.
Waida yaba gero.
Okay. Then mwaliti yako na bola.
bola but
mwate yako nenjuga so ni sapari ya ama games yo mungalanda ati you learned something from that game, like what does any of those games teach you?
football
Uh-huh.
discipline
Okay.
bola tetutenga tawakwata discipline kaili in healthy lyamasho. So when I say discipline, I mean going for training, not missing out ngabade trainer because in health. And I've applied the same technique in my career mwaisho. Ile nangu kwa dwafe kwati in lifestyle wae. Bond studio business. Efo ya bafe. So ile in a discipline ya kubola kwa bati you need to train for you to be a better player. I've applied it mu career. You know what I mean? And I've seen myself improve so much to a point that at times no we can vesi kariso. But also it's called mental gymnastics. The more you do something, brain
So you get better and better.
You get
as a
better.
result of
So
doing it.
yeah, bola fe discipline ya kubola. I've apply for my life, my career.
That's powerful. So I have seen you several times in the gym with J Cash, sometimes with Your Maps, other times with many other people in the same gym, and you are a fitness guy and you're a fit guy.
Very much.
Yeah. Why is that important to you?
Fitness is important. Health is wealth. Also, when it comes to fitness, for me, also it's like part of my lifestyle. Why? Because na mind if you are training so much, you are fit, you know. There are some certain energies that can't, compromise you. I can't do, and also tuma diseases fe tumbi. Not kwata sana fe para kwata ka fatigue filia.
Yeah.
And tuma bacteria fe. Fitness ni health.
That's what's up. Yeah. And then talking about kudua ka fitness na guy, one of the closest people that you have in your life is definitely J Cash. Yes. This I can attest because just last week you and I flew to the Copper Belt with J Cash as well. And at every stage we were observing you. I was observing you and Roberto was also observing you.
Yeah.
So at some point while we were at the hotel, Roberto and I were looking at you guys because we had been observing you right from Pandeke. Yeah, on the flight, but also throughout the whole journey.
Yeah.
You're this guy that looks out for Jay, like you really love him. Like you look out for him, you're trying to make sure Jay Barikut. Are you okay? And
it's the same thing. He looks out for me.
He looks out for you as well. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe no, talking about Jay is not only my boss and the CEO for the record label. He's also my mentor and also my idol. Like, he's my best friend also. Mwaishu baile yako bati twadkwatama similarities ayengi mwaishu. Cause I've spent like a lot of time. He's kept me at his house mwaishu. He's kept me at his house for so many years. So we got attached. I look up to him like an elder brother mwaishu. You know, we get to have conversations away from music. You know, we get to plan together. We sit down and talk family issues, where our kids, you know, business, music, and whatnot. Twadiwa failure yako bati kutina shani. Yari wa fiati, yari katika feke mestre you know. That papite den and to Fujetwaland. Mushtapuan and whatnot, and then I'm used like is my the CEO, my boss, you know, my elder brother is also my best friend. He also trusts me to that point of we've seen each other grow, and also Jay is one person. Takwata is not selfish. Adiba selfless, you know what I mean? Because I remember some time back when there was COVID-19, it's a lockdown and whatnot.
Yes. Shows.
Yes, we were like should be 18 or 19 at his house.
What?
But guy, if you bad, he's a fit to the karapara pene, bakamba, nango fe na artist, no, he has that heart of okusunga fe, and omona tapping fe na energy there, ni akumona, oh, kan shukuba ni gana guy, kukwa tomtima foot. Also, Adi was selfless, mwisho. Like, he's just a good person like that.
Wow. No, that's really amazing. And I think this speaks to the importance of having a network of people that you can trust, and people will be there for you. And you know that even if I tell them anything, my information will be safe. It's not like, wala itwala kumbi, because they become like a family. And I think that's one of the weaknesses that a lot of us men get to have sometimes when you're in a circle where tamuli trust or tapali their brotherhood did. So that type of brotherhood is really admirable. And I think that was the conversation I was having with Roberto.
Yes.
Because we were looking back at where we're coming from, even like in the industry. And Roberto was also pointing out some of the things that he has experienced, where he was saying, you know what, at every stage of my career, I've always wanted to help someone.
Yes.
But for some reason, it's like ngana afo muntu. The person I help will either maybe backstab me, or they'll look at me a certain way. Maybe they become bigger than me in their own mind. At So he kept saying that I really, really admire these two. The relationship that they have, these two.
Yes.
And you remember at some point I even told you that you guys keep it up.
It
was coming from there.
Oh, so I wanted to notice afi pale. I forgot if when you show fair. And also, I've come to learn one thing, Mwash. There are some certain people that God would, send in your life. Trust me. Quite often I talk about they only come once, my lifetime. There are some people who about two now. Someone out there can testify. Quite often a friend work with you had a good relationship with them, and then maybe suddenly they died, or you stopped talking, and then you start regretting to say, but
yes.
So there are some relationships that we shouldn't be taken for granted, boys. If we don't want to zone at okay zone or your sister or your brother or Adiba invested money in, also how do you pay them back? Just to be real, I get to have a whole lot of different, guy, conversation. But if you have someone that can defend your name in your absence,
powerful.
Trust me. Quite often abantu kwati lesadi tumafia toka kwa tepo mnobe waso life. Nango ni brother waso. So kuishita cherish relationship, okay. You even grow na ma changes. Twalife bakabudo fa kwati turashama sala but at least twalikwatana abana. Na ukontoka kuna kajida, guy if yakusenda fye umuntu fa kwati nango takwata starter sana. And also me, there's some boys like Cooper, I have boys that I also I have boys that I mentor, Sedemanyo, Kingeo, and whatnot. There are a lot. Now 5+. Why? Because also, how do I keep my legacy on?
Yes.
How do I keep my name in the conversation? If I'll be able to put on people. Na mubika pa position yako bat apangika and whatnot. Even if I'm not happening, but for the fact that adeshitkaena and whatnot nish ndifebu inona anyway.
Nice one. I have a saying I like to say, success is not success if it's not successive. What it means is that I cannot claim to be successful if I have not helped others become successful.
Yes.
So the same way that Jay helped you, you're now also passing on the same
light
to others.
Yeah, so for
powerful. Fikari sana if
mfumo taifa ikasana yako bati na umona nokumona ati kaili us ama Africans of what panga tulala babu wangu mwisho kwa fati nangu ati 3-4 years ago you didn't have anything, and then wapangi kafe if you to feel pera confidence fina yako bati yo kutuanje benji
especially wakula nomba wambo kumfa kwa nomba I can't tell me anything. He's disconnected.
But filiali satafwa
Yeah.
alafu ati
That's a good heart and a good spirit, man. I think a lot of people should learn that about life and about how God has set up this life. Who are more like they are connected to your blessings in a way
Yes.
because they are like your destiny helpers.
destiny help us.
Yeah. So if the moment you just disrespect them and whatever, somehow it's like kwatuleishamika we mwini.
Uleishamika feweka
Yeah.
foya abafeera.
Yeah. So we're taking our last break, and when we return, we conclude. Welcome back to Dads Without Dads. I'm speaking to music artist and father, DIZMO, Mr. Ephraim Kasonde. Yes, I.
That's
So, Banona Chongo.
big.
So, are we expecting more siblings to Paris? Should Paris expect a sibling?
Last.
Yes, I.
Ni must you. We know, like that's how it's supposed to be. Mwaishi. And also, it's not just about having siblings; it's about also building, an empire for them. That's why we wake up every morning and chase that thing that we always chase. Mwaishi. So, kutina that parina nkwe adefwa kama siblings, not forgetting kushita empower banina to a point that even if I'm not in a position of taking care of my kids, she will be able to take care of my kids. I think the best thing that I can do if I love my son, my kids, is empowering banina.
Yeah.
But twalakwata po twakukwata kwato tutu tubano
Yes, sir.
walabo twingi by the time ilepita pona ngwati 10 years shinatukwata.
Blessings, man. Blessings.
Fast.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I like how you've expressed yourself about empowering your wife. And I want to also take this opportunity to congratulate you
Thanks.
for the step that you took to be a responsible man and to settle down. And I was one of the people that attended your Chilanga Muliro.
How
We
come
had
why?
a great time. We had a
Last,
great time. We had
very
a very,
much.
very good
Quite
time.
if you have
Nabina
kusasula.
Jeka Shuku, Abina Cleo Ice Queen,
Yeah.
Bambi, Abina Buga,
Yeah.
Kwali Wama sana,
Bad.
twali enjoy na ka food fie.
But
Mwali tupanga zona. So yeah, keep it up and congratulations. That's what's
Thanks.
up. Yeah, man. So you're now talking about leaving a legacy and also making sure that the family is safe, such that even if you're not in a position to be able to do it yourself, or God forbid, if you're not there,
yes,
they'll still be safe. I love that.
we'll carry on.
I love that. And I think as men, we need to be encouraging each other even about the issue of financial literacy, how to
Yes.
take care of our money,
Yes.
how to make sure that the money that we are working for today should also work for us in future and help our children. And we should acquire as many skills and tools as possible on how to use money. Then those same skills, we also pass them on to the children. And so, brother to brother, I also want to take this opportunity to also encourage you that, my brother, continue investing, continue using your money wisely because of the kids that you will be having, and because of the child that you have now.
Yes.
And I know sometimes if we're artist kairi kwali by language yotatfwa umuntu taishwe for mpitamo elwasa mkumpira ma financial advice tamwali corona aliamba but apapera mwakwata opinion.
Yari shupa. But I think it's one of the greatest abilities that I've learned. Listening. You can't listen to certain things, but when you are in rooms where they're just ordinary people that are not in your industry and you hear their language, ukasambidira ati kanji in life takuwa ba deadline and it's an ongoing school takuwa bati nimpwisha we still learn waisho
no graduation
takuwa
from
ba
the school of
graduation
life.
takuwa baba kama
Yeah.
usambidira.
Yeah. You've been such an amazing guest. And my final question to you before we close is any tip that you have for that one person who's looking to become a father, those who are planning, maybe they're about to settle down, maybe they're about to do a wedding, or they're about to get married traditionally, and they're planning to become a father. Is there any advice that you may have for them? Even those who are planning a wedding, whatever sana.
Okay, but I've come to understand one thing, when it comes to marriage and wedding, takuwa ba timing. You can take your time and make a wrong decision. You can rush and make a wrong decision. Kupepa feresa ko bati akupera for direction yako bati okay, this is, you feel it with your gut feeling to say okay, this is right, you know what I mean. Also take your time. Take your time, do some research, be real with yourself, like okay, cause ama decisions yambifia para kwa teach upoka fiadiba, it's a lifetime thing. It's not a contract yako afiati apapene for 5 years in Schneipo. It's a lifetime thing, and also you need to understand that you are dealing with abantu mwaishba muntu tetushto muntu mwaishba. So ufire washba ati uyu muntu ndefo kushitana nkwefi chachi no ndefo afe nemwine before nshidapanga na decision yako ati tushite. Be real with yourself, but ngafia ko afia ati take your time. Could take your time.
I like that. Yeah, so I think on that score, I would also like to add that many people want to have a very flashy wedding ceremony or flashy event, and they forget that the main event is the marriage itself.
Yes.
There's a difference between the wedding, which is a celebration you are doing with people, versus the marriage, where it will just be the two of you,
real life,
and your family, which is real life. And the bills will be on you. Those people that attend the wedding might not even be there. Yeah, because I know that a lot of people sometimes they want to show the public that not panga wingo, we're not quite a big wedding, right? But mwaingisha momane, you end up spending the money that you could have used in your marriage to try and build something, including what you talked about, building an empire. Yeah, so I think that's my advice to anybody who's planning to settle down, that the marriage is more important than the wedding. The wedding is just a ceremony. It's just an event.
But futi kairi ofo yasangwa futi yali bafati. You need to ask yourself questions like, are you happy? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Because if you're para what if into if my material for things. Me have performed at weddings where kapota ide smile abakamba.
I know, right? Me
I've
too.
performed. Na shit abakamba. Wadisha poechari but zero. So bakamba happiness yali shupa. I
can tell you this, in my entire life as a performing artist, I've only been to one wedding where I saw a couple really happy and they were dancing and they were free, and I even looked at that, I was like, nakumbwa, I wish I could do something like this. Like body happy zone, body the rest are just following. But anywhere else you find that per wedding day I don't know why it's like that, especially in Africa. We are in a serious relationship. I think my teachings bakamba impanga pyati nombo mchinji doesn't mean kufurwa. Feel more happy. So I like what you're saying about happiness. Yeah, man. Yeah. So no, the conversation continues, and This show is called Dads Without Dads, and I thought that it's important that I could host someone like you, who I have seen talk highly about your mother, your sisters, and many women in your life. And I wanted to understand how it is that you don't have much to say about your dad. And now I've understood that you lost your dad when you were only in your second grade, and you've grown up to be a responsible man, thanks to all the women that have raised you, and thanks to all those good memories that you have of your father, the good moments when he bought you a bicycle, and those butter shoes, and all those wonderful memories that you have. Thank you for being here. And I hope that you can continue inspiring people through your music and even through your fatherhood journey and what you've been sharing on social media.
Karibu wangu, Mr. President.
Yes, So you've been watching Dads Without Dads, and today I've been hosting a wonderful artist and a wonderful father, a dad without a dad, DIZMO Ephraim Kasonde. And right about now, I just want to say thanks to DIZMO and his team. Shout out to Cooper Contra and everybody that he came with who are in the background for bringing him here safely and supporting him to come and share knowledge about responsible fatherhood. I also want to pay special tribute and recognition to the crew that makes this show possible. Our producer, the Navin Agency, our director, Big Man X, our DOP, Prince Gift, our runner, Mr. Mushas Keshas Mumba, our logistics manager, Mr. Dennis Ditu Mulongoti, and not forgetting the people that support us, that make this show possible, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. Thank you for watching Dads Without Dads. See you on the next episode.